Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm your host on Around the Horn, Ray Flowers. Let's start out by talking the case of Chase Headley, one of my favorites for years at BaseballGuys.com. He has exploded this season. Another couple of hits last night on Tuesday, and his numbers on the year are just fantastic. 283 average, how many home runs did he have? 29 home runs, folks. 108 RBIs. I had to check my notes thinking there's no way he could be that high. But think about that. 280, 29, over 100. Tremendous season for Chase Headley, especially when you toss in 14 stolen bases. That's what sets him apart from a lot of the other guys that position that speed. Had a couple of questions, including one at the Twitter account. You can follow me, by the way, on Twitter, @BaseballGuys. Is he a top 5 third baseman heading into next season? My immediate response is no, he's not. Not only is he unlikely to maintain his home run to fly ball ratio that he has this season, which is more than double his career rate, there's too many other good options at the position. Hanley Ramirez now plays third. Edwin Encarnacion has had a fantastic season. There's the old standbys, such as Miguel Cabrera, Evan Longoria, Ryan Zimmerman, David Wright. You can make an argument that top 10 is potentially where Headley ends up. He's certainly going to end up there in terms of his performance this season. But moving forward into 2013, more of a top 10 option at the hot corner than a top 5 option. Torii Hunter, he's been a top whatever option for a long while now, hitting .341 in the second half of the season. Because he's done that, he's got a season-long batting average up to .306. He's got 86 RBIs on the year, 16 home runs to hit one Tuesday night, and 9 steals. Another very solid effort for Torii Hunter. Surprisingly, after almost a decade and a half as a Major League ball player, he's going to set a career best for batting average this year. Again, thanks to that .341 mark since the All-Star break. Torii Hunter, often overlooked, but still a guy, even though he doesn't possess the speed or maybe the power that he once did, that can still get it done and be a very solid depth play in the outfield and mixed league. Daniel Murphy is another impressive depth play, though he's probably best served as an NL-only option. Now, he came into the season qualifying at first, second, and third base, giving him huge value. He's only going to qualify at second base next year. However, given his skill set, given the bat he has, that's the position you want to play him at anyway. Now, he's got 6 home runs. Yeah, that's not impressive. Then this 63 RBIs, 57 runs scored. None of that's exciting. 9 steals. Yeah, okay, that's all right. But he's batting .291 on the year. He's hitting .329 in September. And that's who Murphy is. The guy who can hit 300 at the big league level. He's got 10 home run power. He can steal you 10 bases. Again, not an exciting player. His value in mixed leagues certainly is diminished next year because of the second base only eligibility, but still someone in NL only leagues who feels very comfortable about rostering up the middle. Jeff Keppinger, he's going to be next year's Daniel Murphy, and by that I mean he will qualify after playing more than 20 games this year at first, second, and third base. So tons of value there, especially in league-specific setups, depending on where he signs after the 2012 season. Not a power hitter. Not a speed guy, but someone that can help you in the batting average category. Hitting over .340 the last 2 months of the season, hitting over .370 against left-handed pitching this year. Pay careful attention to where he ends up. He murders lefties, so wherever he ends up in 2013, they may use him in a platoon situation, which obviously diminishes value greatly. So if they look at his performance in the second half and are willing to give him a shot, that multi-position eligibility will have Jeff Keppinger as a very strong single-league play in 2013. Pedro Alvarez hit his 30th home run of the season last night for the Pirates. Now, that's the most of any third baseman in the National League. He's got 85 RBIs, which is 5th amongst all NL third basemen, having a very, very impressive season for the Pirates after years of kind of teasing us with that power. Now, he's hitting in the 240s, and he does have 169 strikeouts, leading to an on-base percentage that's below the league average at .321. So there's still holes in his game. He's still basically Adam Dunn at third base. But you can live with that as long as he's playing pretty much every day, because that power, again, 30 home runs and 85 RBIs, is no joke, and it's certainly something that he could replicate in 2013. Now, Wilin Rosario is a very interesting case. I don't think he's going to replicate the power that we have seen from him this season. 27 home runs, 70 RBIs, and 369 at-bats. Now, people are going to jump to a conclusion, just like they did with Mike Napoli. It's a nice cautionary tale. Looking at a guy and thinking, oh, if he could get 450, 500 bats, he could produce 40 home runs this year. Napoli didn't do it this season. Rosario is not going to do it next year. Now, Rosario's been blazing hot. .331 batting average, 11 home runs the last 2 months. But here's the concern with him heading into next season. The concern is he's got basically a league average fly ball rate, meaning he hits as many fly balls as the average guy. So how does he have 27 home runs and 369 at-bats? huge, huge, huge 27% home run to fly ball ratio. It's very rare for a player to have a rate that high in a single season. It's almost impossible for a player to have a rate that high for their career. Odds are very strongly suggesting that Rosario's number will go down next season unless he hits a lot more fly balls, and that doesn't appear likely at the moment. What that means is even with an increase in at-bat, let's say he goes from 400 at-bats this year to 500 next year, it might still be difficult for him to hit that 30 home run plateau. So don't overpay for Rosario, expecting improved numbers next year in the power department. And then finally, two names that you've got to know, looking in toward matchup plays in 2013 with all the growing prevalence of these daily sporting games. Two guys to talk about. Number one is Billy Butler when he plays against Justin Verlander. Doesn't make a lot of sense on the surface. You wouldn't really want anyone against Justin Verlander in there. You want Billy Butler. .396 batting average and 53 at-bats against Justin Verlander, bringing back days of the 1980 George Brett .390 season. Think about that. Almost hitting 463 at-bats against Verlander. That's the guy you want to pay close attention to in that matchup. And then the other guy, and he did it again last night, and that's why I'm talking about it now, Paul Goldschmidt, the young slugging first baseman for the Diamondbacks, facing Tim Lincecum. Now, he's had 14 at-bats against Tim Lincecum. Not a big sample size at all. But he's produced 8 hits, leading to a .571 batting average. That alone might make you say, wow, that's a guy I want to have playing in that matchup. But it's what he's done in the scouting categories that's simply amazing. Not only is he hitting .571 on those 14 at-bats, he's got 10 RBIs, and he has hit 5 home runs. Can't explain it, don't know how it works, but Paul Goldschmidt sees that ball out of Tim Lincecum's hand, and he absolutely murders the righty from the Giants. I'm Ray Flowers of SpaceballGuys.com. Thanks for joining me on Around the Horn. Talk to you all again soon.